Here's the Fox and Friends crew speaking this morning, the morning before the election, day before the election, basically begging Donald Trump, talk to Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley has been going on Fox News trying to talk to Donald Trump through the television because she, according to her, hasn't spoken to him since June. And the Iowa Seltzer poll has Trump down with independent women, Kamala Harris winning them by 28 points with independent women in Iowa. Nationally, he is trailing with women by a lot. And he's saying things like, I'm going to do what's right for you, whether you like it or not. And J.D. Vance is talking about cat ladies. And it's just like the Republican strategists have been like, hey, can you bring a woman in? Can you bring a woman in to discuss this? Why would they? Please. Why would they? They don't value women's voices. And anyway, so here now Fox and Friends is begging them at the 11th hour to bring Nikki Haley in because the only way that she's able to communicate apparently like what she thinks the campaign should do is on television. Now Fox and Friends is trying.
Let's talk about one thing that the president, the former president needs, and I think it's Nikki Haley supporters. And they've been having trouble lining up schedules or whatever the teams are doing. But the one thing is clear, if you watch Nikki Haley with Dave McCormick.
Too busy going on Joe Rogan.
Yep. I can't take your call, Nikki. Nah, I'm
Nikki, I'm going through a tunnel, Nikki. Up schedules or whatever the teams are doing. But the one thing is clear, if you watch Nikki Haley with Dave McCormick, she's for Trump. And if you read the Wall Street Journal, which I'm sure it's going to be cycled around, you'll understand that she's unequivocally for Trump. Here's a quick excerpt from the title is Trump Isn't Perfect, but He's the Better Choice. And she goes into detail about what he's done and what he's done in the past and how they work together. There was 100,000 votes in Pennsylvania for her. For Nikki Haley. And I think that she puts it in black and white now. There's no hedging. Right. She's for him.
I don't think it can't hurt.
No,
he has her on the stage.
Absolutely not. And and we told you this last week. She told the Trump people, "I'm on standby." We don't know if the Trump people asked her to write this, but what it says, it's for the people like the ones Lawrence you've talked to, and particularly the people that Brian Yinnis was just talking to, the undecideds. And she writes that there are a lot of people with mixed feelings. They like what he did, Donald Trump, but they don't like his tone, his excesses, or conduct. To those people, Nikki Haley says, it's not a referendum on him, it's a choice between him and Kamala Harris. And then she goes through the list of the issues, and on the issues, Donald Trump will be a better president.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. No, he wouldn't. You know what? It's not just the vibes, Doocy. It is the abortion of it all. It's the stripping of a fundamental right for half the population. That's part of the issue. And yes, it is the fact that he's uncouth and the fact that he's been found liable for sexual assault against E. Jean Carroll and the fact that he's had dozens of women accuse him of sexual misconduct and assault. And all of that does contribute to it. And the whole campaign strategy. And I love how Doocy's like, I don't know if the campaign asked her to write this in the Wall Street Journal, public advice that the Trump campaign should heed. Of course they didn't. What are you talking about? She did it because she wants the Republicans to win because she's a freaking Republican and she can't get a hold of Trump.
Yeah, I really love the permission structure that they're attempting to set up for Trump, being like, maybe you were going to work with her at some point. There was always a possibility. And also, she loves you now. She thinks you're amazing. Like, pretty please put her in, coach. She's ready to play. Like, it's all like they're trying to appeal to his better angels and his self-interest, but they don't understand that one, he doesn't like, if a woman is critical of him, it's done. It's done. And also, hey, he may actually like
Omarosa
or his ex-wife Ivana.
Right.
And look at how he maybe allegedly violently treated her when they had disagreements, including an allegation of rape. So he has a problem with women, especially women that are critical of him. And that's why he's using all this violent language against Kamala Harris, too. in private, what do you think he says about her and Nikki Haley?
He has been asked about her support for him, and we know this about him in terms of his impulse control. He pathologically cannot say anything about her without just recounting the numbers by which he beat her in the primary.
Yeah.
That is the only frame of reference he has for Nikki Haley as a person now. He will never see her as a political ally or someone he can look to for support. It will only be in the context of him dominating her.
And that's the reason he always talks about women as stupid or that they know nothing or that they're incompetent. Like, it's so clear you're the incompetent one, Mr. Multiple Bankruptcies, freak. Kamala Harris, again, for all of her issues, right, clearly has baseline public service competency, being in government her entire life. She was never in private practice.
If you don't come from an extremely wealthy
Yes.
background, you have to be more competent than the guy who definitely did.
Right. So it's just, he really, the misogyny, it's like, I can't tell if it's his old age, his desperation in this race, or the fact that he's running against a woman. It's probably all three, but it's becoming the story of this election. And he's making it abundantly clear what he actually is about. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here, read some my ends, and get out of here, turning off the phones. Sorry. Mike from Texas. Wow, I forgot about Omarosa. So many characters in the Trump universe. Yeah. Remember Mad Dog Mattis? Remember how his first chief of staff was Reince Priebus, who used to head the RNC and left after, 5 weeks? Because he's like, I can't take this shit anymore. So many characters. I mean, he's been in politics in the Republican Party, not the reform, BS he did in 2000, but it's been 9 years. Milo, the dang Bilo, you called fluoride a chemical, but it isn't. It's an element. More fake news from the Majority Report. I'm sorry. Meg MCA, if you want to check out the effects of not adding fluoride to the water, also check out Portland, Oregon. They have never fluoridated the water. Draw Nathan, regarding Tucker versus demons, I don't know. There could be a grain of truth in his experience. He's the type of manic creep who might wake up from a fitful sleep having committed multiple murders and claim in all sincerity that he believed he was battling demons. The demon said, seriously, Matt, we're not going anywhere near Tucker Carlson. He gives off the type of energy that puts the fear of God even into the internally condemned souls of every creature in the underworld. We are at war with God over free will. We are not on the side of the heat death of the universe as Tucker Carlson, his Elgar. So many layers to that. I can't respond.
And Paradise Regained.
Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.